welcome back, everybody. It's Jack Graham, and another past due video for you all. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for taking some time to listen to the channel. And um, it's been a while. I do a lot of traveling. The spring and fall are my busy times of the year. I am a photographer. If you'd like to see what I do, you can go to www.jackgrahamphoto.com and you'll get it pretty quick. I've been to California, I've been to the UP in Michigan. I'm leaving again Monday for the Pacific Northwest. So it's a busy time of year, but I do want to get a video done because I have a few things I want to really talk to you about that I'm really excited about. Some things that showed up while I was gone. Piano trios. I'm pretty picky on piano trios. I've got a lot of them, whether it's Oscar, some other folks. But I have three that I want to talk to you today about, one of which is a must-have, and we'll get to that last. So, again, thank you for being here, and we'll get right to it. Three new records. You know, a lot of the videos that I've done in the past that you all have been so nice about listening to and commenting on, please continue to comment, have been, used records, older records that I've found that I would recommend and that I enjoy. And, there are a lot of those type of things available now. And a lot of piano trios in different different combinations of great players. So let's get to the three I want to talk about first. The first one, again, is an album called The Timekeepers, and this is done by Acoustic Sounds. Reissued by Acoustic Sounds, quality record pressings. I have the original Pablo. I have not listened to this yet, but based upon the other Pablo reissues that have been issued in the last few months, I can guarantee you this is going to sound great. This is engineered by a gentleman named Val Valentine, very famous engineer. I've never heard him do anything that wasn't first class. This is on Pablo. It's a record called The Timekeepers, featuring Count Basie and Oscar Peterson. So, two different pianists, two different styles. Count Basie of, the Kansas City school, kind of stride piano, known for the big band. But it has been featured in some small groups on Pablo previously. Interesting. Pablo was owned by Norman Granz, and Norman really had the ability to put together really interesting combinations of musicians, some that you wouldn't think would sound good together. Two of which are Oscar and Count Basie. I mean, can you think of two pianists who have, different diametrically opposed styles? Oscar, the technician, also this really nice, soft, tasty player, harmonically. And Count Basie, who's really known for the big band, but really can carry his own in small groups as well. And I think you'll find that to be the case, especially in this record. I would highly recommend you buying this. It is available now through Acoustic Sounds, Neon Groove, Elusive Disc, whoever you buy your records from. Recently reissued, I think it came out last month. It was here when I got home. Recorded in 1978, I think it came out 82 or 83. But it's a really good sounding record, at least the Pablo original I have back here. So I can only imagine this is going to just sound amazing. Using other bass and drums, John Hurd and Louis Bellson. Louis Bellson has the ability to really play many different types of groups. I've heard him in big bands, and he just swings like nobody else. I've heard him in small groups, and he just is a consummate, tasty player in trios and quartets. He's got some on his own, on Impulse, other labels, but this is a great record. Um, I normally talk about used stuff. This is a new record. Highly recommended. The Timekeepers, Count Basie and Oscar Peterson. I don't think there's too much that these two folks were on together, and I'm sure it's going to sound great. It is limited, and they use what they do here is they use less than 1,000 records per stamper, which really makes them sound great. The vinyl is quiet, and every one of these Pablos that have come out so far that I have are superb, um, and significantly cleaner than and better than the originals. And that's hard to say because some of these originals are damn good. But man, Oscar and Count Basie, and who could go wrong with Belson and John Hurd? Standards, a couple originals as well. But man, can't wait to hear that. That'll be tonight's listen. Second record I'd like to talk to you about is again a new record, and it is a Blue Note record, a new Blue Note record by Bill Charlap. Bill Charlap is a pianist from New York who's really established himself as one of today's preeminent pianists, whether it's in a trio or in a solo environment. But this is with Peter Washington on bass, Kenny Washington on drums. Charlap's playing on this is amazingly good. I love the way Bill plays. I heard him with Phil Woods a number of times and always really appreciated his playing. But on here, what really makes this exceedingly good a recording is two things. The choice of tunes, a lot of standards again, but some originals. All the things you are really done differently on here than you've heard on other versions, I think, of that tune. One of the greatest harmonic and melodical tunes I think that was ever written. If you ask me what was the most perfect tune ever written, I might say All the Things You Are. It's just incredible the way it flows harmonically, along with just a great, beautiful melody. But he does this really differently and really well. Again, standards, Darn That Dream. I think the best cut on here is I Don't Stand a Ghost of a Chance with You. Really tasty playing, but wait till you hear the sound of this record. This is not billed as a audiophile record, but it is. When you hear the cymbal crashes, some of the rim shots by Kenny Washington, you're going to jump right out of your chair. It's great recording. This was done in New York, and it was mastered by Ryan K. Smith. Ryan K. Smith, Bernie Grundman, Kevin Gray, some others, just mastering engineers. But what a job that Ryan did on this. Wait till you hear acoustically how this sounds with the trio. Well balanced. I don't want to say it's going to sound like you're there. It kind of bothers me when people say that. But what I will say that if you turn up your system, if you have a decent system, if you turn it up, it's going to sound as close as you can get to being there. Pick this up. It's available. All three of these are available. Pick them up while they're still available. They're going to go away and not come back till they're ready to get repressed again. But Bill Charlap Trio, and then again on Blue Note, a recent recording. wait till you hear how this sounds. You're going to love it. And finally, a record, you know, I keep notes on my iPhone about records that I'm constantly looking for when I go into record stores. Um, the first thing I normally do is go to the used bin and go through that list and see if they happen to be there. This particular record has been on my list for a long time. I've heard it. Um, Obviously, don't own a copy until now, but it is when it came out. It was really one of the best recorded records of all time. I think when it came out on Concord Jazz back in the '80s. It's a record called Solar Energy, and this was done by Ray Brown with Gene Harris, and of course some other people we'll get to. Garrett King on drums. Garrett happened to be in town in San Francisco with Joe Williams, and I don't know of his. I didn't know of his playing before this, but he plays really nice on this record. Good time, tasty player. Gene Harris, a very underrated pianist, known for his work with a group called the Three Sounds, which recorded a lot of records on Blue Note Records. Um, if you can find any of those, if you find them, you may have them. If you don't and you see them, just buy them. They're all really, really, really good. Very tight trio, the Three Sounds. Gene Harris, you know, he's a really great pianist. I love the way he uses his left hand, um, his the way he voices, and a very, very tasty player. He's not maybe the technician that Oscar is flying up and down the keyboard, although Oscar can play a ballad like nobody else as well. But I have to tell you, Ray Brown on this record makes this record. Ray is my favorite bass player, I think. Um, the way he plays almost a melodic, rhythmic line in back of the players is second to none. If you listen to his playing on this and kind of take the piano out of your mind and just listen to Ray, it's a concert in and of itself. So this record came out in the '80s on Concord Jazz, was reissued by Acoustic Sounds Quality Record Pressings around 2013, 2014, and on 45 RPM, 2-record set. That particular record now, up until this reissue, it's really hard to find. A mint copy was over $300. VG Plus or VG copy was probably $200 to $250. Very, very hard record to find, but now it has been reissued again, repressed by Chad Kassem over at Quality Record Pressings, Acoustic Sounds. Superbly done, just superbly done. And again, what this was about, there was a Jefferson, Carl Jefferson, who owned Concord, used to do these concerts in Concord, California, in the Bay Area, as well as other places. But they had one of these, and they put together this group to do a record while they were all in town. There's one cut that Red Holloway on tenor plays on. Emily Remler, a very underrated guitarist, on guitar. It's on one. It's on a tune called "Mistreated Blues." Only on that one cut. There are 6 cuts on this record. It's a 2-record set on 45 RPM. Would I rather have it on 33 so I don't have to change it very often? Maybe, but I have to tell you, the sound on this record is perhaps the best sounding record I've heard this year. That's a bold statement. It's unbelievable. If I was to rate on a scale of 1 to 10, acoustically sounding vinyl, I probably have to say that the Bill Evans, Debbie, and this Village Vanguard's UHQRs are 10s. This is not a UHQR, and I would say it's a solid 9, maybe a 9.5. Is it a UHQR? Not quite, but it's unbelievable. Unbelievable sounding record. Again, to this date, it's maybe the best sounding record I have received this year, 2024. It is in print. It is available either at Acoustic Sounds. I know the In Groove has them. Probably other people, your local stores might even have them. But please do yourselves a favor, pick this up. It is a $60 record. It's not cheap, but they're 2 records. So for $30 a piece, it's a steal, and it's going to go out of print again. I guarantee you, when it goes, it took 20 years to get this back. It's going to take a while to get back. Solar Energy Ray Brown. Do not miss this record. I know that my good friend Scott Wilson at the Pressing Matters will be doing a review of this. I think it might be out today. I'll look when I post this video here later today. If it is, I'll link his site. I'll link it anyhow. Scott, I think Scott does better record reviews than I do. He'll delve into this maybe a little bit more in depth and probably only talk about this record. But it's that good. I think that Anthony Kershaw at Audiophilia will also review this sometime next week. And I guarantee you, this is a dream list record. This is one to have in your collection, both musically and audio wise. Again, Solar Energy. Get it. Don't even think about it. Just buy it. I always like to end these videos now with a recording that is a classical recording. I participate in a live stream on Wednesday nights guided by Anthony Kershaw at audiophilia.com, and it's just classical talk. And please check them out. There's a number of them in the can. If you're new to classical music or well versed in classical music, it's such a privilege to hang with Anthony and Jim from the UK, Carl from New York, and of course Scott from the Pressing Matters. Scott, nobody knows labels and which pressings to buy like Scott. Jim and Anthony are both, they are great people, as well as performers who have worked with some of the largest orchestras in the world, and great guests. Anyhow, check that out. But, a lot of people ask about if you're starting a classical library, or you already have one, especially if you're starting one, what should you buy? There's so much there. There are a lot of pieces that have been made very popular through different avenues. But one I would really recommend buying, if you don't have it and you're a seasoned classical collector and listener, as well as maybe someone who wants to just get into classical music and check it out and learn how great it is. You could buy this CD for about, I think you could probably buy it for no more than $10, either on eBay or Discogs. It is the George Szell Cleveland Orchestra recording of Dvorak's Ninth Symphony that you all may know as the New World Symphony. Very popular, very maybe played too much at times, but this is a great recording. It's a reissue on the Columbia Masterworks label. And George Szell made the Cleveland Orchestra. Cleveland Orchestra has a sound. You'll find, for those of you who are new, some orchestras do different things better than other orchestras. Some conductors do different composers better than others. But Szell created this sound with Cleveland that was just amazing. And this is a very good recording. It's been redone extremely well. And also on this is the Beatrice Smith's the Moldau. Again, it's a kind of a warhorse, has been played a lot, and it's part of a excuse me, another suite by Smetana. Moldau is a river, and he depicts that river in the tone poem that's on here. It's a really, really good sound recording. Zell is one of the top conductors of all time, and really made the Cleveland Orchestra, I think, what it is today, even though he's not with us anymore. George Zell, great conductor. But do yourself a favor, if you don't have this, find it. You'll love it. I guarantee you'll love it. You'll love Solar Energy. You'll love this. The music, it's all about the music, folks, and it's great music. Anyhow, I'll try to be better about recording. Once I get back up from this next trip in a couple of weeks, I'll be able to do some more videos. I apologize for not being around. It's not the best way to build a video channel by doing one video every 6 to 8 weeks. I've got to do more, and I get that. And I really love doing these. It's just a time factor. But I am going to be back in mid-November, and we'll get to more. Pick up Solar Energy. Pick up the Charlap and pick up the Timekeepers as well. All three are amazingly good sounding records, especially Solar Energy. Don't forget to check Scott's channel out too. I'll link it below. And until next time, like, subscribe, all the stuff that we ask you to do, and we'll see you again soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.